HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media podcast. And my apologies for the delay, but you're definitely going to enjoy this one tonight. As always, shout out to our HHDG Media Inc. company that makes it happen every week, every day, every year. The Mayor, T. Smith, Skelly Top, Rock Vader KB, and myself with. Shout out to our Facebook group, Hip Hop Discussion Group, HHDG. And as always, check out our website, hhdgmedia.com, that you can see down on the banner on the bottom. For tonight, we have yet another member of the Umbrella Dope Ass Crew. No weak links. This brother always dropping fire, project after project. Coming with a heavy delivery, that delivery that, who is that? Got you thinking that in your head while you're listening. All the time. And he is one of those, we talk about certain well-known MCs that don't know how to select dope producers and production for their projects. This man does it every single time. Dope beats all the time. Always matching up with, his delivery, his content. He likes to brag with the rhymes, give you a little insight. He can hit you with all of it. And I'm sure he got some dope freestyles too, but we're not going to get into him freestyling on our show. I'll let him leave that for, some other shows. He's worked with on some other ill projects as well as his own. Shout out to Hobgoblin out in the UK. He worked with him some dopeness. Definitely looking forward to maybe you and Clipto out in Oceanside, California, possibly doing some work together. Man, we're going to talk about the boxing. I know you got some little history in there as well. So, and he's originally from the area I work in, Brooklyn. Dopeness, man. I definitely want to get into, pick his brain a little bit and then, he'll give us some insight. But let me welcome Josiah the Gift.
What's good, HHDG? What's going on? It's your boy in the building.
Peace, man.
How you, man?
How you doing, man? Doing good.
I'm good.
Cool. Great, man. Now, before we get into a little history, one of your early projects was named after a well-known boxer. So I got to ask, how's your history with boxing? Because I know right now, you're getting a little training in it right now.
I mean, I'm not really trying to be heavyweight champion of the world or nothing like that, but I just, I try to hit up the gym. There's a instructor in there that I spar with Jack Johnson was just an inspiration. I'm always looking at people that, had history and left a mark in the boxing world. So he was one of the originals. So I wanted to pay homage to him and have something with a message on it. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not, like I said, though, I'm not training like running. I'm not running 5 miles or nothing like that, but I try to keep my hands, working a little bit. You feel me? You never know how to use them.
Right. Was there anybody else, growing up that you, like maybe your family or somebody around you that you seen boxing?
Nah. It wasn't too many boxers. I mean, of course, it was a lot of street fighters around where I was at, but I just picked up. Like one day, I was watching BO, and I was watching the Floyd Mayweather versus Diego Corrales fight, his technique, and at a young age, Mayweather was slick with it. A lot of people don't know that was the moment where he was more what's the word? His defense wasn't up to par as much as it was. I mean, as much as it is now. So he would go toe to toe with you, and it was just a masterful performance from him, and that really got me into it. Then it became the Wards and Gotti fights and things of that nature, and I just kept up with it. You feel me? Just kept up watching, and it was just something that I just had to. I used to train a little bit more than I do now, but I used to try to take it seriously. But nowadays, I'm just trying to, keep my hands sharp, and that's about it.
Dope. And boxing that's a total body workout. So you definitely maintain it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to make sure
on that.
Stamina, muscle, everything. So it's hard. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Like, I remember the first time I went to the gym, like, I'm thinking I'm about to do a couple push-ups and crunches and things of that nature. But the way the building was set up, you had to run upstairs, run downstairs, come downstairs, do 20 burpees, get back up. It's awesome. Like, if you want to really take boxing seriously, you got to dedicate all your time to it.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the Jack Johnson EP came out about 4 years ago. It's 2018, right?
Yeah, I want to say 2017, 2018,
okay.
Around that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who did the production on that?
I know I had my man Drum Gang P did a record. The Artivist did a few records on it. There was it was a lot of, at that time I didn't have the ability to the range of producers that I got these days. So it was producers that I was meeting online that I thought was dope, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna run with y'all. We're gonna make a nice little body of work together. You feel me? But yeah, it wasn't. Artivist was like the only producer at the time that had a name that actually was messing with me. So yeah, Art's my man still. Me and Art might have something coming up. Are you familiar with the Artivist? He did a few.
Yes.
Yeah. He did a few projects with some big names out there right now. And we've been planning a project forever, bro, but it just never came into fruition. Mind you, we got like 10, 12 songs already. So y'all see that one day. We'll modify it and then get back into it.
Dope. And he got dope project with Rome Streets as well.
Yeah, the Joy area, yup.
Mm-hmm.
Around that time when he was, me and him was doing our project first, but then he started getting into the wave with that project. So that's when we kind of like lost, I don't want to say connections, because I still talk to him every now and then, but that's when we kind of derailed the process, because I had another project I was working on too at that time. We didn't finish it up, but it'll eventually come through. I have the feeling in me that Artivist, because he's been mad quiet lately, so I'm feeling as though he's probably working, honing his skill, and then like, yo, I got you ready, and I'll slide with him when the time is right.
Dope. Definitely look forward to that, the Artivist. I know you got something coming up. Usually when a producer's quiet or an MC, there's something bound to be come from that.
Exactly.
Definitely look forward to that.
People take the attention. I mean, the game is so saturated these days that if you're quiet for like more than 6 months, everybody like, oh, they on to the next person, not understanding that you trying to perfect what you got going on before you step back out there. So that's why I'm not even tripping. I know Art gonna come through and just have me blown away with whatever he's working with. Or working on, you feel me? Pause.
Dope. Mm-hmm. And tell us about when you met Castle Money Beats.
Oh, that's my man's. Castle was another one that came at me. One of the first producers that came to me and was like, I'm trying to work with you. And I think the first time we did the record Quite Simple, that might be the first beats that he sent me. And I was rocking to it, man. And at that time, Castle was like, yo, because Castle's been in the game for a minute. So Castle was like, yo, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. And I wasn't ready at that time. I was still kind of, undeveloped as far as, understanding the amount of drive that you have to have in order to get into the game. So I still talk to Castle every now and then too. Like he'll leave a comment and stuff. He's always working. So that's my man. Shout out to Castle if you watching.
Definitely. Shout him out. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And in the intro, I was talking about how your delivery and your bars is. But when it comes to the great adventures of Slick Rick and storytelling.
Definitely an inspiration for me, man. Like there was a time when I don't know if you're familiar with the Kazaz and the Lime Wires and all the Napsters and things of that nature. And I was at home one day, man, and the Source magazine had an article about all their 5 mic albums. So it was the Boogie Down production album. I think it was the Ultramagnetic MCs. Oh no, the Jungle Brothers, I believe. And then it was Slick Rick's album. And I felt all those albums, but when I touched that Slick Rick album, I was like, yo, it's necessary that in your grasp, or as far as an MC have that element or part of what you do. And storytelling, like if you listen to that album to this day, the story still just resonates so beautifully. Like I was listening to The Moment I Feared, and I was like, damn, like he can come out with this. I don't know if the beat actually work. It might, but he can come out with this album right now. I think be a dominant force in the game. One of my favorite storytellers, if not my favorite, hands down.
Yeah, man. And that's a great person to get that inspiration from.
Gotta have some all the greats. Gotta take everything all the greats did. Everybody had their strengths, weaknesses, and see how it works.
Yeah. Now, early on in your career, you still trying to get your style and your craft and everything together. One of your influences in to who we know now as Josiah the Gift was Nas. What was one of those songs that that really stuck to you, that was like, this is how I should start working towards having my style this way?
He was inspiration. There was, first of all, it was written album hands down, but the beat on Black Girl Lost, I used to love that beat and the hook. So that was like one of the first records that I ever wrote a verse to. And then I started studying Nas more down the way, because Nas has a very distinctive rhyme pattern. You feel me? He don't always rhyme at the end of the bar. He'll switch it up where the end of the bar be a word that's completely not rhyming, and then rhyme will come in the middle of the next bar. You feel me? And I always thought it was dope, and how he can bend the rhythm of the rhyme pattern did. And I used that and did my own studying and focused, and then I developed my own way of bending the rhyme pattern. So that's my favorite MC. And it's funny because Jay-Z, even though he's one of my favorites still, but he started off as my favorite MC. But then Nas is the type of MC that, as a young child, you won't necessarily grasp everything. But then as you're getting older and you're developing and the maturity is starting to set in, then you'll be like, damn, really spitting some shit, excuse my language.
Yep.
He's that. Word. Yep.
So when you early in your career, how was your writing compared? How's your writing from then to now? How did it progress? And like thinking of what you do now compared to back then. How do you see the difference in your progression?
At that time, I was a little bit more wilder with my with expressing myself. You feel me? Like it was the bravado when you want to do real things so you can have real lyrics to speak about. it was more. I wasn't at that time. The more I seen more, uh, the more I seen life, and the more I just researched and just absorbed more music, it
Mhm.
just molded my skill. Like now, I feel like I'm not. I don't even feel like I've reached my peak yet fully, but I'm getting close. My prime years, but I'm getting close to it. You feel me? And it's just getting more and more fun discovering different ways to convey my messages, man. Like it's fun, bro. It's fun. It's fun. But definitely right now, compared to where I was back then, I've elevated. Like, and my man always, I don't usually catch it sometimes, but my boy was telling me, he's like, yo, compare, he's like, yo, you even be singing these days. And I remember when you would just sing a hook and it'll sound terrible, but now you done figured out ways to have a nice little melody where it's your own. And he was like, I feel like you should do it a little bit more. But just researching, man, and living life, man, just developed me into the guy that you know today, the gift. You feel me?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's- And I wish, more MCs, would do that. You can still have that talent, but you still gotta hone the craft. You gotta practice on it. You still gotta work on it.
Mm-hmm. You never know too much, man. You learn something
Mhm.
new every day, especially with me. I try to listen to different types of music, even if I don't like it.
Mhm.
Listen to different artists that's known, artists that's not known, and just try to take little elements from what they do and like they do much heavy metal and stuff like that. But I listen every now. I'm in a work truck and the guy I'm with playing something on one of these punk rock stations. You feel me? And take something from that and be like, yeah, I fucks with that, or I mess with that right there. I might take a sample that I heard and suggest it to a producer and be like, yo, flip that. You feel me? Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm. I'm gonna, being that you grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, to be
Yes,
exact,
sir.
and now you live in Jersey. But um, me personally, I grew up in Staten Island, but my
Okay.
mom used to bring me to shop in downtown Brooklyn when there used to be
Mm.
Albee Square Mall.
Mm. Yes, sir. That's the Brooklyn I know more. Beach Street was across the street. Like, yes, sir.
Yep.
Those are my days. I have so many memories because at that time, if anybody knows, Beach Street CDs used to come out on Tuesdays at those times, but Beach
Yep.
Street was selling the CDs Friday.
Early Fridays.
Yes, sir. That's, you know what's crazy? Like B Street was hustlers because what they were doing was they'll get CDs, right? And they'll get a fake bootlegger to sell the CD. The real CD. It was like, oh, let me get it. I remember I went the album I seen out there because they wasn't selling it in the store at the time, but they were selling it outside. It was the Bone Thugs and Harmony album, Art of War, Puff Daddy, No Way Out, and they were selling it out there. My mom was working at that time it was 9X. It wasn't AT&T and all that yet. She was working in that building. I ran up in there and I was like, yo, dude selling the Puff album right now. I need to go get it. And it's just those memories, you feel me, of
Hmm.
being out there. That's the Brooklyn that I've grown up in.
Yep.
When the hip hop was still pure, you run up on Flatbush Avenue, you can hear boom boxes, the NORE, Cam albums and stuff, and things of that nature.
Yeah. It was a great time. And later on in my teenage years, I used to go down there, with some of my people, because my uncle got me into DJing. So Beat Street was a place that I used to go buy vinyl and also get the latest mixtapes as well. And then you
Sure,
had
yeah.
Music Factory out there too at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yup, good times. I mean, the internet destroyed all that now, man.
Hmm.
Can't find nothing like that out there no more. I don't think there's a nobody beats the Wiz or like
Nah,
crazy.
none of that.
Mm-hmm. Sir.
So has it what music influenced you outside of hip hop, when you were growing up?
Oh, well, it was a lot of culture reggae. Um, a lot. I'll say that was the other influence, the other bigger influence besides hip hop, R&B too, of course.
Mhm.
Listen to old R&B. Like I put my on, you'll hear, and it's crazy because my friend like too, but you'll hear Anita Baker record, what's the damn, what's my favorite? Chapter 8. It's different, but you know, that's just how it is. That I'm also researching, and
Mhm.
if I hear something, I'll Shazam it and sample. I'll toss it to do, and I also love it. The other day, right? I don't know if you know who Riley Wallace is, but on his IG, he had posted the original record to the record from Jay-Z, Imaginary Players. He had old school is on another level, and I can understand why some people be like, "Yo, rappers take our samples and they just do all kinds of shit to it," but because the music is so beautiful before it, but the rappers they just don't understand how we vibe, add a crazy drum to it, and elevate it in our own way. So, but yeah, that's man, definitely.
Mhm. Man, dope, dope.
Mm.
So before, I would say, before we talk about Iron Mike, because that's around just before that came out was around the time like people were starting to say, "Yo, who's this Josiah the Gift?"
Mm-hmm.
So the album Raw came out. I think it was 2019, and
Mm-hmm.
you had a track on there called "Everybody Eats."
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
that track right there really signifies that album to me.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That was a late record too that came through, but it was just how I felt, man. Like I always break bread, like even if it's a small. Just the other day, my man's he's locked up right now. I don't really have bread, but I had a few dollars. I was like, bro, it's 200. Hopefully, it can help you. And compared to what it's just how I always felt. Like if the crew eats, everybody's always there to stabilize me. So that's one of my favorite records too on there. So,
Mm.
mm-hmm.
Dope,
Word.
dope, dope. And who did the production on that one? Because I couldn't find who did the production on that
I,
album.
I want to say it was my man. His name is The Villain. He was um at the time. I don't think he really produces no more, but yeah, I think it was The Villain that did that one. If you remember the record on Jack Johnson, it's called The World Is Mine. He did that record too. So yeah, that's my guy right there. Shout out to The Villain. Come back to rap, bro. We need you.
Man, so let's get into it. Iron Mike.
Yes, sir. Damn, you got the tape. It's still in the plastic and everything. Yes, sir. That's my baby right there.
Tell us how that album came to be.
Oh, you got time? Cause I'm gonna give you the short version, but that album just came from me being hungry for my respect, bro, because I felt like when I dropped Raw, people listened, but people were still like, all right, he's cool, you feel me? Like, they wasn't capturing anything I was doing. So Iron Mike was me more so like, yo, this is gone, catch their ears. And I really sat home sometimes hours just writing. And usually if I write something, I feel it and I'm just like, yo, it's good. But Iron Mike, I went back, scratched out a few bars, changed certain things. And me and my engineer at that time was working hard. I remember the last day after we recorded, we were adding the skits and things of that nature. And I can just hear that album was going. Once we started adding the skits and everything, I knew that it was about to be something crazy because it was the record. I don't even remember. Pardon me, I was smoking a little bit, but track 9. I forgot the name of the record. Excuse me, but it has a part where Jamaican dude that Tyson fought. I can't remember his name, but he was talking about how hard it hit. And
Oh, okay.
I got the beat from a dude named Frank Grimes. He gave me the stems, so we broke the stems down, and it had at one time it's so suspenseful that I was like, as we crafting the skits and everything, I was like, yo, so my engineer, if you put this right here where the beat drops and you just hear the beat, like it's a loud sound. And once I did that, like once I was able to do that, I was like, yo, this album is crazy. And then it was doing the track, and I said they can't deny me after this. Like, what are you gonna say about this that's trash? Like, there's nothing on this record trash. I mean, I listened to it from a fan perspective before. I always listen to my music in a fan perspective. I don't even think about it from an MC perspective once it's done. I'm always listening to it like, if I'm in my whip bumping this album, what would I like? What would I not like? And there wasn't nothing I could find that I didn't like. So
right.
I was like, this is one right here. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. And as we speaking of this album, shout out to Ed Glorious tuning in.
My guy, what up?
That dope. That was another ill track on there, Exodus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He me and him got some shit coming too. He sent me some great.
Oh man.
Yep. Hey, yeah, I've already been working on it for a while. Exodus was actually supposed to go on me and his album, but once I was done with it, I was like, I don't know when the album's gonna come out, so I have to put this out like ASAP. It has to go on there. And he was down with it. Anytime I asked Glorious, he like, yo, it's whatever. As long as, you know, they get to hear what we got coming together, it's cool. So it worked out beautifully. Feel me?
Dope. And, you know, as I was saying in the intro, and Ed Glorious is, you know, a prime example. You picked dope producers and beats. I mean, you had your fellow Umbrella Moss Beats on there.
Shout out to
Rob De Niro. Yep. Rob De Niro. And man,
yes, sir.
An important key to any album is that first track. And King David Beats, he that was pinpoint. He nailed that one.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And well, as I was creating the album, man, I was trying to look for it. I had a few records that I was like, yo, this will be a dope intro. But once I heard that beat, he had put it on IG one day, and I was like, yo, I need that. I DM'd him. I think he said he was planning on giving it to somebody. I was like, bro, let me know what I gotta pay, and I got you. And he told me his price, and I was like, I got you. I sent it to him, and I think one thing with producers, when they're not aware of what you're about to do, they'll be like, all right, cool. I don't think he was prepared for what I was about to do, because then once he heard, he's like, I got, you know, my album, my compilation that I got coming out. So shout out to King David. I gotta work with him again, definitely soon. That's my guy too. But he set the tone.
Yeah, most definitely. Who else you had there? You had from the UK, like I mentioned, Hobgoblin before. Farmer Beats.
Shout out to Farmer, yes.
You had Free Mind out of Watts. He's another dope producer. Matter of fact, for those, I don't want to go too much sidetrack, but for those that don't know, Free Mind worked with a MC out of, I think he's from Ohio, if I remember correctly. Cincinnati might be.
Project
Brandon Isaac, if I remember correctly. Definitely check that out.
Okay.
I mean, Free Mind I've been listening to for a few years now, and always dope stuff. And then he did his own little Griselda Rejects project too. That was dope.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Yeah. I got a few records too with him that hasn't been released yet. The record that he did on Iron Mike Starks, y'all almost didn't get that record because that was another record I heard. And when I reached out to him for it, he was like, "You already gave it to Jamil Honesty." Oh no, mind you, he gave it to me, but then he said to me, I forgot that I gave this beat to Jamil. So I can't really, tell him he can't have a beat now. So I was sitting on that record for like at least close to a year. And then one day me and Mill had developed a relationship, shout out to Mill. That's one of the MCs that I respect the most. Just not even off on the mic, just off the mic as well. But Mill, I hit him up and I'm like, yo, Mill, I wrote to that joint already. I need that beat. And I thought he was about to be like, I don't know. But he was like, bro, if you already got something to it, rock to it. I was like, thank you. So he's a part of that. I should have put him in the credits for that one because without him, that wouldn't happen. So shout out to my man Mill. Y'all make sure y'all get that and Jamil Honest Bolo Young album out right now.
Oh yeah, with Sean Links, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Fire.
Sir.
Damn. And I don't know if you know, but me and Jamil grew up in the same hood in Staten Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to Staten Island?
West Brighton.
Okay. I have family in Park Hill. Of course, that's where the Woo is at. Everybody know it. If you know anything about Staten Island, like it has a large Liberian culture in there. And my family, I'm Liberian, so my family's from Liberia. I was born here, but my family's from Liberia. But my mom had a bunch of family members that was living in those projects. My cousin one day was telling me, like, yo, the Woo used to be out there. We just was too young. I'm telling you, we left out there before. But I was like, I don't know about all that, but yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to Staten Island, man. Shout out to the island, man.
Dope. And we got DJ TMB tuning in.
Oh, TMB.
Shout out TMB.
That's my guy right there.
Since he's on here, we got to talk about them cuts on Remain Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. DJ TMB is one of those DJs that continues to keep hip hop thriving, keep the cuts and scratches thriving. Every time I see his name on credits, I'm like, yo, I know he's gonna kill it.
Yes, sir. And he did the I'm telling you, when I did the Raw Baby record, me and Sub did our verses. I sent it to him, and I gave him the sample used to bust around. Everything Remains Raw sample, but I didn't know he was gonna cut it up the way he did. And he cut it up in a way that just intensified the or like as soon as Sub verse was done, he came in there every Raw, just doing all that, and I was like, shit, set that one off too. That's one of my favorite records on there too. I'm mad how the streaming services did me with that one, but it is what it is. They ended up. I couldn't put it on when I went to go and put the album together on DistroKid and all that stuff because I had the single. Yeah, because I had released the single first, they was like, "Oh, you have to match everything," and it was giving me a bunch of problems, so I couldn't put it on the actual streaming service. It's all there. It flows. You feel me? As it should be flowing, but being as though it's streaming services, it's missing that one record. So, but shout out to you. That's my guy.
And while we on the top,
he did the Rap Phenomenon record. He did the Rap Phenomenon record on side B. He did a couple other records, but that's the one that really killed shit.
Yep. Yeah, that's the one that definitely sticks out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I remember correctly, I think he did the cuts on Squeegee O and Jamil Honesty's Crazy track too. If I remember, he was cutting up ODB. I gotta check that again. But that was another crazy. The cuts
yes,
on
sir.
there.
The Harvard kids. Yes, sir. Squeegee from Staten Island too, right?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, y'all Staten Island boys. Like even Ace Cannons is another one. Like I'm like, damn man, what y'all getting out there, bro? Like what you got y'all brain?
What I was gonna say was, let's stay on topic with the DJs. DJ John Doe from Southern Vanguard Radio, from Dochino. Man, he's another one.
Another one that as soon as I hit him, like, yo, Doe, I need something, he gets it going. And very dope individual. Shout out to him and Meeks, man. They showed love from the rip. Like he was one of the first ones that put me on a podcast. So shout out to them too. Yeah, Doe, man. Doe's another one that's just treacherous with it, man. Deadly with the cuts and scratches and everything. So yeah, shout out to him. He did some work on the album too. To call it like I see it joint. On Remain Raw, he did the outro. I mean, it's the record before the outro, the second part of the record I had with Tone Beats. So yeah, shout out to Doe.
Count on the Tone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, Tone, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yup. My guy right there.
And being that I'm over here showing physicals, I see that, that's important to you to get out to the people. And I'm sure from them early days, like we was talking in Flatbush, it's important from an early age.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, that was just something special. Like, I don't want us to lose that element in hip hop. I'm so glad. Like, I didn't even know vinyl records was as big as it was. You feel me? Like, when I was doing records like Jack Johnson, I didn't know there was a big vinyl sensation going on. So to see that even happening is crazy. And I don't know if the CDs hold that same weight, but eventually people are gonna go back to CDs. Everything revolves. Like, you're gonna go right back to CDs, and then it's not gonna be the vinyl, it's gonna be the CD. Everybody's looking for a CD player. So even if you don't listen to even if you don't absorb music like that these days, I feel like it's important that we have something that's tangible that we hold in our hand, that we can be like, I got this. Because what if all this, the internet and all that shit just zaps out and goes? You don't have nothing. You don't have the proof that you held a Josiah the Gift album. Some people can even say they held it with a signature on it. So, and you look on things like discography and stuff, this CD's going for like $150, $200. You feel me? Just because of that nostalgic purpose that's there with it. So I think it's very important that, especially us as underground artists, we keep that element, because the music that we make comes from that element of what we use, how it used to be. We didn't have the internet at the time. The kids that do the drill, they don't have that experience of going to get Run Home, Nobody Beats the Wiz, Sam Goody, all those stores. They didn't have the privilege of doing that. And they don't know, like, that's something that y'all are missing. Like, there was nothing better than me running to go get a DMX Darkest Hell's Hot album, knowing that if I don't make it at a certain time, it's gonna sell out. You feel me?
It's gonna be gone. Yep.
Exactly. We don't got that these days no more. Or even if it's not, even if you don't get the even if it's not sold out, you might not be able to get the limited edition joint that came with 2 CDs where the Survival of the Illest was on the other side too. You feel me? I still got a Jay-Z Hard Knock Life Volume 2 double disc. A lot of people don't even know about that, where Jay-Z had records that, they're on mixtapes and all that right now, but at those times you had to get that album to get those records and those interludes and things of that nature. So there's an element we got to preserve and keep in the game. It's always lovely to see CDs and vinyl selling out. Like, we old heads that they call us these days, we keeping that going. So it is what it is.
I like that point. That was a great point that you talk about if the internet shuts down, because, and John Doe is one that says all the time, back up your shit. Because you never know.
I'm bugging. Like, I hear that all the time, and I record in my house in my basement, and I use a program called Studio One, and a lot of the Mightier Than the Sword records that I recorded, I went back to get it to back it up. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's deleting all my vocals. Sometimes even the instrumentals. So I'm gonna have to I think through the engineer, he might still have the stem, so that might save me. But you definitely have to back up your music, because once it's gone, you don't want to. Sometimes you can't even recreate the magic that you created the last time you did that record. So to redo it, it might not feel the same. You feel me? So you definitely want to do that. But if you had a CD, you wouldn't have to do that. You kept that CD without scratches, you wouldn't have to do that. So let's keep that. Let's preserve that, people, if y'all listening.
Definitely. And speaking of music selling out, I got to shout out, your fellow Umbrella crew, Mickey Diamond and Pro Dillinger.
Yes,
sold
sir.
out that Sting versus Flair earlier today. Probably like a minute or two.
Yeah, bro. It's like, yo, you gotta. I was telling Mickey when he dropped Bangkok Dangerous 3 BD3.
Three. Yeah.
Sold out 5 minutes at that time. Yo, bro. Eventually, people gonna have to get a bot to buy his shit, bro. And now they did this, set another record. Like I was feeling myself the other week. I sold out in like an hour. These motherfuckers are on 2.5 minutes. I'm like, shit, what am I doing wrong? You feel me? But it's just them two together is only right that they get serving, man. And the project is dope. Shout out to my
dope. Yeah. And shout out also Ty Farris with his Bars vs. BS company as well, doing their thing.
Yes,
they also had CDs and the cassette. I'm not sure if it might have sold out already, but last time I checked,
I think it did. They might have. I think Mickey posted that he has a couple CDs left, but the cassettes is gone.
See?
It's gone. Mine, as it should.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And the way vinyl's been selling out, now I've been seeing more and more. Probably this year, cassettes have been selling out the same way.
And which is crazy. That's crazy. I know nobody's buying a cassette with the intention of putting it in a Walkman and play it, but like I said, it's just for them purposes, just to have it.
You got old heads like me that still got a working Walkman.
Yeah, really. I found one a few years ago, man. I think I didn't even try to play. It was so dusty. I was like, damn. But it was nice to look. Like, damn, I remember these right here. Sucks it had to be y'all, man. I even had I remember having my CD player. That's one thing that I'm like, yo, I'm glad that we don't have to do that no more. Because I used to have my CD player like in my pocket, like big ass jacket.
Yeah.
In my pocket, it's weighing my jacket down my collar like this and shit. Like I couldn't do it no more. So I'm happy that's kind of out of there. But I was always like to have a boombox or something that has a CD player on it. The sound too, like when you listen to CD quality compared to listening to a streaming service, is completely different. Me listening to Mighty and the Sword the other day, I was like, yo, this shit knocks a little more on the CD than it does when I'm hearing it on Apple Music. It should be sounding low, like did I mix this right? Then I hear it on CD, like, oh, all right, I mixed it right. You feel me?
Yeah. And I don't know if this might be the next format, but pay attention to mini disc. I know 2 releases so far. Big Ghost and the Widowmaker put one of their projects on mini disc, and I believe that sold out. And shout out the Wrecking Crew, Zilla Rocca and Small Professor out of Philly. They also put their joint on mini disc, and that sold out too.
Really? How does the really small disc? I haven't even.
Yeah, you remember how the floppy disc, not the big 5 1/4 ones, but like, I'm sorry, I'm speaking my IT stuff right now, but the plastic ones, a little smaller than that, 3.5 ones. They look like that, but they're smaller. And back in the day, Sony mini disc was the type of thing at that time. I actually still have one too. I used to,
I don't know what those were. Yeah, I don't remember though. Maybe if I see them, I remember them. But even something else that I was thinking the other day that I thought would be dope is like put all my projects together on like a custom made USB and unreleased. I don't know if anybody's done it before, but I think that would be dope to even start implementing that into what we're doing right now. You feel me? Like, just get all the albums right here for a certain price. Like, and you can always, these don't, as long as you keep them good, nothing's gonna happen to them. Another collector's, you feel me?
Yeah. Every once in a while, people do have their little custom USB drives like that. Okay. Sometimes people have like a mock cassette. And it folds out with the USB in it.
Okay. That's what's up. Yeah, see, I thought I had one, but I guess it's already out there. But that, regardless, it's something dope. It's something creative to do to me, especially if you can get it. I didn't even know you can switch it to cassettes. I've seen a few of them where they got custom ones, and I was like, oh, dope. If I can get somebody to like make a figure on the end of it, like maybe me or my mask or something on it, my mask logo. But that would be dope, man.
I was thinking that too. Yeah, definitely. The mask would be dope.
Yeah, put it on the end of it, like, or on the top of it or something, and then you got
Yeah.
enough room to plug in your USB in. That should be dope. You know, I'll put
Yeah.
all my music. If I can pull that off, I'm putting everything on there. I might even just send cats music and be like, yo, make sure you store it on there. You feel me? Sell it for a nice little reasonable price and do something like that.
Definitely. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Business moves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Plotting.
Dope. Now let's talk about what we talk about. Mightier Than the Sword.
Yes, sir. My
I
new
was
baby.
double album at that.
Yes, sir.
No,
Twin come
and
around.
I don't care. I don't care who has listened to this. If you haven't listened to this, there's no skippable tracks on here.
I appreciate that. Thought I was the only one. I've been hearing that a lot these days. You know, I dropped the first disc and everybody's like, man, I could play this straight through. So I knew I had one. You feel me? I don't know yet if it's on the level of Iron Mike, but in time we'll see, you know. I thought I put it down the same way I with the same kind of hunger that I did Iron Mike. So
It definitely feels like it, yeah. And you know what's crazy is when you dropped side A, I'm trying to remember, it was like a few weeks before side B came out, right?
Yup. In order to get side B, you had to buy the album. Get it, yup. Yes, sir.
So that whole time I was listening to side A, when you still dropped side B, you know, I was still listening to it like this is the album. And it's funny because it reminded me when Gangstar's Moment of Truth came out. That wasn't listed as a double album, but it had 20 tracks on it. And I kept playing the first 10 tracks because I was just so into it. And that's how I was with your album, side A. I was just so into it. I didn't want to go to side B yet.
I feel you. I tried to, give a little room in between for the simple fact, like, when I had a few people listen to the album before I dropped it, and they didn't want to tell me like up front, like, yo, it's a lot to digest, but they were basically telling me in ways. So I was like, I don't want to give it to people, and then they just listen to the first 10, and then they're like, all right, I'll put this back for another day. I wanted people to hear the first 10 and then be like, damn, oh, you about to drop another one in a few weeks? All right, I'm gonna digest all these 10, and by the time he drops the side B, I should be ready to, fully digest everything together. But it's the way music is moving these days is like fast. You feel me? If you don't stay on top, you don't have creative ways to put it out there and keep people attention, then you're here today, gone tomorrow. I don't get that Iron Mike, because Iron Mike, that effect lasted for a very long time. Like, I felt like I didn't have to drop another album for at least a year. So this time I wanted to make it where I don't have to drop another album for 2 years, even though I'm going to drop more music this year. But I just wanted people to be like, damn, he gave me enough that I don't have to, I'm good off him for a year. If he didn't drop something right now, I'm good off him. Like, I'll wait for the next one. Because that's the lost art too. Like, everybody's just like, yo, I dropped these records, I'm putting it out there. And you don't even give yourself time to think like, damn, that record might have been a little trash. Like, niggas is just putting them shits out there. So I didn't want to do that. I never want to put out music just to put it out there. You feel me? That album, I made sure that everything was on point. Like, I wasn't just, you can ask Mick. When Mick was talking to me at first, I wasn't even gonna make it a double album. I was like, I'm gonna just take all 20, I think I did 27 records. And I was like, I'm gonna take the best 12, 13 out of it. But then as time went on, I was like, yo, all these shits rocking. Then I got the Magnificent Ruffians record with everybody, and I was like, fuck it, I'm putting everything out there. And either they gonna mess with it or they not. You feel me? But everybody mess with it, so it is. Mr. Thompson.
Yep. And you can't have a dope album that sounds like trash. So I got to bring up Scott Pierce and Pearson Sound Studios.
That's my guy, yo. That's my guy. I knew Scott for a minute. Like, he's one of the first cats that I was like, oh this like when I had moved to Central Jersey, my cousin was working with his cousin. So my cousin would always tell me like, yo, they got a studio out here in Lakewood. And I'd be like, man, I'm not going to no studio. I had my little setup in my closet with the foam, and I thought I was doing it. I was like, I don't need no studio. But he's like, I'm telling you, yo, this studio is dope. I went out there, and it wasn't even compared to what Scott has now that we recorded Iron Mike and all that on. It's nothing compared to. I mean, it's the old studio is nothing compared to what we recorded on. So at that time, we were doing a bunch of records. I still got those records, so maybe I'll drop it on some unreleased shit. But we were doing records. We was all young to this. He was going to school out in New York to learn how to mix and master. So we were all growing together. Lost contact, and then he hit me up one day like, "Yo, I done built a dope ass studio in my crib. Come through." I went over there. I was like, "Yo, you really kept, your ambition going, and look where we at. Like, this shit is crazy." And then we created the magic in that studio. Iron Mike, I did Remain Raw in there, and that was about it. We did them 2 albums in there. You feel me? And a couple other unreleased records that I have, but that's my guy, man. And he don't even do it no more. He's just moved out to Texas, so I guess he's taking a little hiatus and focusing on family. So shout out to Scott. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Scott. Definitely shout out Scott. Because that's before it comes to the people, it's gotta sound right. And,
Exactly.
And this is why I always shout out Future Wave, because he does a damn thing with making sure the projects that he's produced, or even if he didn't produce them, he's engineering it. It comes out sounding nice.
Real shit. It has to all around. Like, people don't understand. Like, in order for an album to sound like an album, it has to be cohesive. Like, it can't just be a bunch of tracks just thrown together. It's a science to it. Like, and you got to have kind of like a lot of my albums. I try to have. I don't necessarily try, but I think I have like, if I could be a movie director, because I think cinematically, like, I try to put everything together like a motion picture. You feel me? And I learned that doing Iron Mike. Like, that was, I had a bunch of Mike Tyson skits, but I was like, how can I put this together where it sounds like a documentary almost? You feel me? And God helped me with that. He sat down. He's like, I'm gonna get this sounding right. We're gonna master this a few times. And that's his baby as much as it is mine. He can put it on his resume and people be like, you did your thing with that.
And one thing that always lets the listener know a certain artist is going to be there is their ad libs. And shout out to Aunt McQueen.
Oh, that's my guy. Shout out. That's my guy too. Me and Ant gotta get something going, bro, because Ant got some shit. Like, I've known Ant since the days where I was posting my music on a blog called Boxed In, and I did an EP back in them days called While You Wait, and he sent me a record on there. I think it was the Man I Become interlude. I think I called it. I'm not sure, but the beat was crazy. And me and Ant, I always tell Ant, yo, send me something. He always like, I got you. But for the next, yo, Ant, if you listening Mightier Than the Sword 2, I need you on there, bro. For sure.
Man.
That's my guy. Salute.
So where did that ad lib come from?
I think I was in the studio one day feeling myself after a verse, and I did it, and it just stuck. You feel me? Like, I was recording with my man in Maryland at the time, and he used to be like a cat that always I wasn't even that nice, but he used to hype me like I was nice. You feel me? And he always used to tell me like, you need something like a sound or something that's gonna, separate you as far as you having your own thing that you do. And after a record I did at his studio, I think I did the he was like, yeah, that's me right there. Keep that. So it just kept flowing with me. Everywhere I went, I was doing it on everybody's records, starting it off, ending the records off with it and everything. So it's my shit now. You feel me?
Mm, dope.
Mhm.
And speaking of, let's talk more about international producers who, when you find them, they have the same way MCs have that hunger. A lot
Mhm.
of these producers have that same hunger, and you
Real.
hear it. And once you discover them, yo, gotta link up with them. And I gotta
Mhm.
shout out SB11 from Australia.
Shout out my guy SB. Yeah, we got something in the stash right now. Like I messed with SB because when he approached me from a perspective where he was like, damn, bro, like, I didn't know it was cats. I know there's, this rapper and this rapper, but it's something about you, bro. Like I gotta send you beats. And he sent me like a pack the first night. And I heard what was the record? Oh, the El Dorado record on side B. I did that record the night I heard it. I wrote that. You can ask Timepiece. I wrote it. I was like, yo, Tom, because their times is different. I think it was like 9 o'clock at night over here, but where Tom was at, it was like 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning. So I was like, yo, bro, it's 9 o'clock here right now. By 11 o'clock, I'm sending you this record. And mind you, they did something the way he said, because he was the first person that told me about SB, and then SB reached out. But once he got that record, I was shocked. He sent it right back to me. Like a couple hours later, he sent it back to me. I was like, oh, I bet. And then I talked to SB again. He's like, yo, we gotta work. And he sent me more records. And now y'all might be getting about it like something real soon between me and him. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's dope. And I gotta shout out Memphis Memphis MC producer Luca. He is the first person that I heard SB11 on. He
Mm.
worked with him. He's another dope MC.
Yeah, what's his name?
He
Luca?
got production too. His name's Luca. Yeah, I'll send you a link. He
Yes.
SB11 produced, I think, like about half of his last album. It's called Why Look Up, Guides in the Mirror. And
Mm.
it's a dope album.
Word. I'll listen. I'll
I tell,
definitely
I
check it
tell
out.
people all I tell people all the time, don't sleep on the South, man.
Yeah, yeah, you can't, man. They got their own style and they spitting too, man. Like you can't take nothing from them.
Hmm.
There's a difference. I mean, well, the South always, as Andre 3000 said, the South always has something to say, but they coming out the woodworks. There be artists, certain rappers that I hear on IG. I didn't even know they was from the South. And then I hear them, and I'm just thinking like, oh, they East Coast, they from somewhere out here, and then they actually from Atlanta or, like you said, Memphis or something like that. So shout out to the South, man. Enough for all of us to eat out here.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't understand why people are still hating. You find your lane or your crew, just flourish with it. There's always
Exactly.
going to be fans. There's fans that are going to find you, and there's fans that are going to stick with you if they like what they hear.
Exactly. Exactly. You just got to keep the consistency there. And that's
Yep.
that. Mm-hmm.
Man.
All right.
So aside from all these dope producers that we talked about, another one that I want to bring up, actually two more, but one, Machacha, who, if I correctly, he I don't know if he owns Copenhagen Crates, but I know he's affiliated with them.
Yeah, he's like one of the in-house producers.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's another one that's out there. And I was sleeping on Machacha at first, bro. But then I'm hearing him. I heard I don't know if you heard of this dude. His name is Vegas 7 or Ronin. That
Yes.
is something crazy, bro. Like I heard him the other day because he has a project with Machacha, and I was like, wow.
Yep.
I heard him, right? And then Matt Vinyl Hunter was premiering my Mightier Than the Sword project, and Vega pulled up in there. So I was already kind of a little familiar with what he was doing. But then I was like, let me go and research him a little bit more. And I heard that project. I was like, yo, I hit Jamil up. I was like, yo, this nigga's like this out there, bro. Like this dude is a little like if I'm asking him to get on a record, I gotta make sure my brain is working at craziest amount of speeds at that time because he's nice, bro. Like The shit
Yeah.
that comes off is just different. You feel me? Shout out to Vegas 7, bro.
Yeah.
It's he's a
Dopeness.
make this resurgence interesting for sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to go into too many producers, but I just want to go with one more. Because, sorry, because you
Mm-hmm.
work with him quite a bit, and he's dope, mighty healthy.
Oh, shout out! That's my guy. Shout out, Mighty. I talk to Mighty all the time, man. Mighty, yeah, he's dope. Like he's trying to elevate it. There's a record, bro. Yo, Mighty, if I wasn't supposed to say this, forgive me, bro. But it's a record that he has a project coming out with Ace Cannon, and there's a record me and Ace did, and Mighty just elevate like the way he chopped. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, whoa, because Ace verse is crazy. Like he sent me the record. I'm gonna keep it real because a lot of MCs don't do that shit. I had the advantage kind of on the record because I heard Ace's verse already, and I don't like to do that. Like usually when I send somebody a feature, I send it to you. I don't want to hear your verse. I don't want you to hear my verse. We just gonna go off of knowing that we both gotta kill this. Like I don't play. I know you don't play. So
Yeah.
I heard Ace verse. But I was like, and even hearing this verse, I was like, fuck, like it's gonna be hard to follow this. And Mighty was like, yo, trust me, just do what you do. But Ace wanted me, there's two different beats in there. So Ace wanted me to rap on another beat. But I really like the beat that Ace was flowing on. So Mighty was like, don't even worry about it, just do what you do. So I did my verse, and then I think he did his own little mix to it, and he fused the beat that I liked it, but it wasn't the beat I wanted to use. He fused that beat and the beat that Ace was using in my verse, and the way he just like chopped them shits up. Oh my god! Like I felt like Jay-Z when he sent me that. Like I was like, oh, I'm a GOAT, bro. You feel me? And shout out to Ace because we tore that record up. Like if the DJs don't grab that record and spin it all through the summer festivals this year, like I might be done with this shit, bro. Like it's a crazy record. Shout out to Mighty. He did my Remain Raw record. I mean a record on Remain Raw that he was supposed to he was shopping to Raekwon. And I was like, I gotta hear it. I gotta get this. I was like, if Ray don't want it, bro, let me be the first person that you give it to. And I titled it Mighty because he gave it to me right after. I guess it didn't work out, or they didn't pick it, so he gave it to me, and I just put my truth behind it, man. Shout out my guy Mighty, very innovative producer.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think your work with him is what caught my attention.
Really? That's
Yeah.
crazy. My guy, man. He know how to bring the best out of me, man. Like he's a lot of producers that hear certain records, or hear me and be like, oh, I got a record for you. And I'll be like, oh, they're gonna do something where they think this is what I want. But Mighty will be like, yo, I got a record for you. I think this, you can fuck with it. I know I can hear you on this record. And then I hear it, I'm like, damn, I really can hear me on this, like the record, the Billmore at the end of side A. He sent me that record, and that wasn't, I had no intention of putting that type of, record on my album. But once I heard the beat, another record I wrote to ASAP, as soon as I heard it, wrote to it, sent it to him. He was like, yo, what's wrong with you, bro? You an alien, bro. Like, he was hyped when he heard it. So I knew I had one, you feel me? So shout out to Mighty, bro. I'm sending your CD tomorrow too, bro. USPS fuck this order up. So I'm sending your CD tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, man. No, it sucks that we gotta get most of our things through the mail. You don't have the stores anymore, but as long as you get your physicals.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure I take care of a customer. I think I sent out like 70 CDs and they lost 3 of them. So I gotta make sure. Damn. Yeah, they're talking about investigating, but I know for a fact I'm not getting them shits back.
You're not getting.
And I kind of because I was in a post office yesterday and this white dude was in front of me. He was like, whoa, like he's like, that caught my eye as soon as I seen this. So I'm not thinking when he said it, like, I'm just looking like, oh, thank you. So when I left the post office, I'm like, you know what? It probably caught a carrier's eye in there, and it was like you interested to see what's in it, rip my shit open and then just dump my shit. Or hopefully they took it and they listening to it. If you're gonna steal it and you fucks with it, I would rather that. But you know what I mean? You can't be taking people's shit. Like, how did 3 CDs just vanish? You feel me? And they're saying they can't find it right now. So now I gotta take CDs out my stash and send them out. But I got everybody. Alejandrito, the producer, I got your CD too. And Mighty, I got you tomorrow too. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we I got the chance to interview Alejandrito. Dope.
Yeah. Me and him got a couple more things lined up too. He sent me a couple records that he wanted me to get on, and I showed love because I already knew who he was, and I was like, yeah, I got you. There's the new record we dropped on. Well, Colombian Dre, I guess his name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Colombian, Drake, Colombian Raw.
Drake, Colombian Raw. Shout out my guy, Drake, Colombian Raw.
Yep.
That record was one of the records that he sent me, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting on this. I'm eating on this. So shout out to Alejandrito, my guy.
Absolutely. Now this little boy on here, is this a representation of you in any way?
Yep. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's gonna be a trilogy that I'm putting together, right? And the mask is a representation of me as the rapper, and the side B is a representation of just me. You feel me? That's why side B, if you listen to side B, it's more introspective. You feel me?
Yeah.
And the side A is more me, like, yeah, I'm gonna get in y'all niggas' ass on these records. You feel me? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep that going with also explaining my life. And the next Mightier Than the Sword, I don't want to give out too many details, but the next Mightier Than the Sword is going to be the same type of image, but me as a teenager. And then the final one will be me as a man. You feel me? And it'll be the same kind of concept. Mask. Maybe I put a couple kinks in the mask by the time I get to my elder self, but I'm just rocking with that. Like, I didn't want to give that up yet, but that was the kind. You asked a good question, so I had to give you the concept behind it. You know.
So it's showing your growth and maturity and wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
You know, try to do something different, man. And even with the title, like the Mightier Than the Sword, like I just felt like after I was done with the album, I was like, yo, I killed them with this, and the words will kill them faster than me putting my hands on them. You feel me? So that was the whole message I was conveying. Like, I will eat y'all with this mic, bro. Like, no matter how I give it to y'all, y'all gonna feel me on it. You feel me? So yeah, the next one I got another ill concept, but I'm gonna keep that one on the wraps. Y'all have to wait for the next one next year.
Okay. And who's the artist that draws this? Is that you or is that somebody else?
Nah, it's a dude named Joe Nuari. He's out in India. An Indian artist, bro. Like, that's how this music is just getting everywhere, bro. I seen them one day on IG, and he had did something for, I think, Stu Bangers and Sean Price. I think they might have had a Stu Bangers put his beats behind some Sean Price records or something, or a DJ blended it, and the cover was dope. So I reached out to him, and he wasn't trying to beat me in my head. A lot of artists, I mean, yeah, a lot of, digital artists and things of that nature, like, you'll hit them up for something and they'll give you an outrageous price. Like, bro, I'm not, I don't got no budget. Like, how you gonna try to hit me with a rack for this? I understand your work, I don't want to discredit your work, but work with me. You feel me? Like, I got other things. I'm doing this independently. Like, if I had a budget, record label budget, of course I'll throw you the bread that you asking for. But pretty much, long story short, I hit him up. I told him my concept, and he did it. He did it in a way that I wasn't even expecting. Like, I thought he was gonna do something else, but he elevated it somewhere completely different. So I'm gonna be working with him again in the future, for sure.
Dope. Yeah, man. See, and this is another thing. I mentioned it on the interview last night. Artwork and having a physical stays in your mind. It's a great memory, and that memory of the artwork, the album cover, resonates to the music that you start remembering too when you see that.
Mm-hmm. Artwork
And
is
with these,
it's a
it's
must. Like you
everything. Hmm.
dope artwork. Like even when you want to attract people to what you're doing, like I don't listen to albums with artwork that's phenomenal, and I'm like, yo, I'm listening to that just off the strength of he put time and effort into putting something together like that. You feel me? And even if the album's trash or not, he still got my attention by showing me through his artwork that he's trying to take his shit seriously, whoever it may be, man, woman, whatever. But it acts like when you looked at that Iron Mike cover, you was like, oh shit. Then you heard it's hard hit. Like
Yeah,
it's just how it has to be. You feel me? Even Mightier Than the Sword, it made a statement before you even heard the music. So it is a must. It's imperative that you have dope artwork. For the new artists out there, it's a must, bro. Don't come with something that you just learned Photoshop and you got some old 18-bit looking letters and an old picture of you black and white. Like that shit looks crazy, bro. Like stop doing
yeah,
shit like that. Pay a couple dollars to get your shit right. For real.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we have to talk about you being part of the family, the collective, the whole crew, the umbrella.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I came on late, but that's my guys, man. We started something. We all had plans, and we all knew we was nice, bro. Like I heard at first Bishop. I don't know if you're familiar with the producer, the Bishop. That's Rob De Niro's brother, but
Right, yes, yeah.
he
Uh-huh.
came, he came to me and he was like, me and him was working on our project, which not to cut this short, but y'all expect that this year. And that me and him was talking about that last night. Like he is one thing for me to rap, but then you got a producer that wants to add instrumentation and things of that nature. It just brings a whole nother level to a whole nother layer to the music, bro. So y'all get
Hmm.
ready for that. But anyway, like I was saying, he brought it up to me, and before I was like, yeah, I'll be down with it. I wanted to hear the MCs that was a part of it, and I heard Pro and Snotty. I was like, oh, they nice. Some people might run away from that, but I was like, yeah, I need that in my life, like niggas that can actually spit, that'll keep my sword sharp. You feel me? Because
Yep.
we're competitive in a friendly way. Like they'll hear Mighty Than the Sword, and then they'll be like, oh, all right, that's what you're doing. Boom, I gotta do this. Mickey about to drop no liquor before 12 or no liquor after 12. I don't want to fuck his title up, but I know it's before or after one of them. But I know what he about to do. Like I'm tearing shit up again. You feel me? So they keep
Hmm.
me on my toes, all of them, and I love them dudes, man. Like we just getting started, and for us to get it to this level already, we going to do a show at the Chelsea Music Hall. Like it's crazy. Like
Crazy. Hmm.
devastating. I'm like, damn, bro. And mind you, a lot of us, we don't have management. We don't. It's just our hunger and our determination to get it that is making it look as nice as it's looking, because we just putting our money in there, making sure that everything is on point when we drop it. You feel me? From
Yeah.
Pro to Snotty to Creasy to Mickey that we just added, J Royale. Everybody doing their thing, man. Like when you got a collective that's that dangerous, how do you stop that? You feel me? Like we getting punched from every angle, It's crazy.
Yeah. When I interviewed Allah Preem, he was talking about, we're not gonna drop a project just yet. We're gonna make
Mm-hmm.
sure every member in our crew people know about. They got dope projects out. They're bubbling. People
Mm-hmm.
talking about them. Let the whole crew,
Mm-hmm.
build up and get their fan base. Get people talking about them. Get people talking about them. You need to go listen to this. And that's what y'all
Exactly.
doing. Like I was saying before,
Mm-hmm.
there's no weak links.
Exactly. Even in the show, like we trying to get it where there's a rap. We got also Mac Nice and Big Trip. that everybody's not familiar with, but they're nice and they add another element. Trip is just a smooth, like I see Trip and that's Detroit when I see him. You feel me? Like that's what I said. The what they call them, the buffs, the Cartiers. He rocking his Cardis and he just smooth. I seen a picture that was there like, damn, my nigga is smooth and the Pradas and everything, like just smooth. And the music also is a representation of who he is. So I'm hoping that we can get him to do a set where he at least has 5 minutes to himself, and also with Mac. Yeah. Mac is nice too. Mac got like a dark feeling to what he does. You feel me? So he got a record, he got an album out there, an EP with a producer named Super Nice. That's dope as shit. But people haven't gravitated to that yet. So if you're in the show and they perform, then you're gonna leave the show like, damn, I gotta go check them dudes out too. You feel me?
That's right. Yeah.
You said I want everybody to get the same light. So there's no weak links when you're listening to it. You're not thinking about skipping that person's verse. You want to hear everybody's shit. You feel me? And like you said, that's what we're doing. So it's working out, man. Ain't no egos. Ain't nothing crazy happening. Everybody just want to see everybody win with us. You feel me? And we're rapping. I'm rapping, man. I'm not looking to, even though I'm not going to lie, like when I seen what I was able to accumulate from Mighty and the Sword, I wasn't like, damn, I could really make some bread off this, but I'm not really focusing on making bread. Like I'm good. Like I live in the burbs now, yo. My house is nice. My 2 dogs is over here asleep. Like I'm not worrying about, anything as far as, oh, I got to do this to make money and all that stuff. Like I'm good. Like it's just my music. I want y'all to feel me. Like when I'm done with this and they're talking about the underground, I want them to be like, Josiah the Gift was one of them ones that held it on his back with the others and pushed it to the forefront once again. You feel me? And that's what everybody in the umbrella wants also. So we gonna eat. Mm-hmm. Shit is undeniable over here, baby. Get used to it. Anybody that's watching this, like, fuck the niggas. Sorry to hear that, bro. Get used to me, y'all. I ain't shaved, but next time you see me, I have the baby face out for you. You can get even more mad, I'm here. My nigga's here. Feel me?
And as we talking about the show that's coming up, highly anticipated show. If y'all can get the chance to go, y'all need to go. There's going to be history that night. May 22nd, Chelsea.
Take off work on Monday, y'all. I'm through. For real.
Chelsea Music Hall in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I'm going to put up that link real quick for y'all. Get some tickets.
Is that Eventbrite, y'all? Links in our bios.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Historic. You don't know when you're gonna get a room of MCs, and we're gonna have special guests too. We was thinking about that going with our producer also, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to lock everybody in on that end. But it's gonna be nice, bro. Like I might crowd surf for the first time, bro. Like just jump in the crowd and just like this, bro. I'm heavy, so y'all be ready. Cause we going off, yo, for real.
And y'all got the dope logo, and y'all got the merch with it. I copped the t-shirt. I definitely got to get a hoodie soon, but that logo is another thing that people are gonna remember.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think Dark Arts did that logo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, shout out to Dark. That was when we all seen it in our group chat. We all had like the shock look, like, whoa, that's crazy. So shout out to Dark. One day I might get in the like that's one of those Rockefeller Death Row type of logos. You feel me? So it has that type of presence to it. So shout out to Dark and his creative mind. You feel me?
Dope. And I just put up the link for anybody that wants to go cop some umbrella merch. Definitely,
yes.
Go and support that.
Go with it, man. We'll sign it for you. We already talking about that. Anybody got signing your t-shirts off, man. So cop the merch.
Come through the show rocking the merch, definitely.
Yes, sir. If you miss vinyl, that's another thing. If you miss certain vinyls on Copenhagen crates, you might have your opportunity to get it at the show. So pull up too. Make sure y'all
Yeah.
make
Get
sure
there
y'all money
early.
don't come to me like, yo, on Copenhagen they selling it for
Owe
this.
me
Like,
one.
it ain't at Copenhagen no more, bro. Like, if you go
No.
on this guy right now, you might have to pay $300. I'm not gonna beat you in the head like that, but you definitely it's like an NFT now, bro. Like, you got to pay for that, like, for real. Word up. I hope you in there, man. I hope you're gonna be in there, bro. I need to see you in there, man.
I definitely, I'm trying my best, be there.
Yeah, pull up. I don't think this ticket's sold out yet, but let's hope it does. But it's gonna be dope, man. I'm telling you, like, the way that we're planning. As a matter of fact, after I get off this interview, I gotta send the records that I'm planning on doing, and the way that we're doing it, I don't want to reveal too much, but it's gonna keep y'all attention through the whole show. I promise.
Man. Crazy, man. I can't even imagine, how that show's gonna go down.
Yes, sir. At the Chelsea.
But, yep. And what else haven't I asked you about? When I first got one of your CDs, I saw "Own" at the bottom. Only winning niggas. And that's the only place I've seen is on your physicals. Tell us, what's that about?
That's just a idea for a label that I'm trying to get together, man. Trying to do my own label and things of that nature. So, I don't got no artist, nothing yet. I don't got no artist yet or anything, but I want to turn it into like a limited liability company. You feel me? And start getting artists under there and start making moves with that. So that's something that I'm working on right now, man. And it's coming really, really, really soon. Really soon.
Okay.
I might have like one or two dope artists in the stash that I'm thinking about getting with right now, but it ain't nothing set in stone yet, but it's coming. Got ideas, got compilations on deck and everything, so it's on the way.
Dope. Josiah the Gift. Dope project after dope project.
I appreciate you, man. You always been showing love, man. Every time I look at the posts, like things that you say in your posts, I know that you definitely are really listening to what I'm doing. So I appreciate you, my brother.
Respect. Definitely. And I gotta say, after like I was saying before, just before Iron Mike came out, that's when I really started checking your music. And when I found out about the Jack Johnson EP, New Slaves is still one of my favorite tracks.
Which one? I couldn't hear you. The phone broke up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I was saying New Slaves.
Okay.
It's still one of my favorite tracks.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I took the Kanye sample and just did my own twist on it, man. You feel me? I gotta go back and listen to that album because it was one of them records that I was happy that I did it, but it was like, damn, man, I felt as though I could have did a little better, feel me? So I don't try to erase it, but I don't listen to it as much as the newer records that I do. But I gotta go back and listen for sure. New Slaves is definitely one of the joints that I can definitely remember some of the lyrics as I'm talking to you. I can remember some of the shit I was saying in this. So it was a dope record.
Dope. Man, I appreciate you taking the time to let us talk with you. Let us know about Josiah the Gift.
Yes, sir.
The Umbrella. Man,
yes,
y'all need to go to that show May 22nd.
Yes, sir. Eventbrite tickets. The link is in all our bios right now. Y'all want to be there, man. It's going to be historical. Like I said, I'm crowd surfing on y'all. Slide through. I'm usually smelling good too, so y'all will be all right, but I'm crowd surfing on y'all. I promise. Slide, man. Have a good time with us, yo. For real.
Yes, indeed. As always, the floor is yours to give you shout outs.
Shout out to everybody shout out to all my supporters, man, that, hit me up in the DMs and let me know how they feel about my music. Shout out to my crew, Pro Dillinger, Snotty, Mickey, Creasy, Mose, J Royale, Substance. I don't want to miss anybody, man. Rob De Niro, Dark Arts, Luch, A La Cream. Shout out to my crew, Big Trip, Mac Nice, May 22nd. We in the building. Shout out to Mills. Shout out to Squeegee. Shout out to Vegas 7. Shout out to all the MCs that's out here just trying to, break the ground with me. And that's it, man. Love y'all, man. Keep doing what y'all do.
Definitely. And I got to share that link for the show. Let the people know, like I normally do with the music. Keep putting the word out.
All right, I appreciate that. I appreciate anybody you meet that's in the hip hop, let them hear me, bro. I appreciate it. Yep. And hopefully I see you at the show too.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping so. With the way things have been, I'm very selective about what shows I want to go to. But this is one of those. I need to be there.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a moment. A lot of dope individuals gonna be in one room, so it'll be dope for you to be through, and we snapping pictures and things of that nature. Get you backstage to rock with the whole crew. You feel me?
Yep.
It comes real. So hopefully I see you there.
Yeah, man. And on behalf of our HHDG media crew, we gonna say peace.